Hello, my name is Matt Rouse, and I'm a PhD student at the University of Cambridge. There is evidence that the anterior temporal lobes, or the ATLs, are important for face recognition. A separate literature implicates the ATLs in semantic memory more generally, including knowledge about faces and people, but not selective or limited to this type of knowledge. The aim of this study was to directly compare predictions of each literature to generate a unified framework of the ATLs. To do this, we explored the effects of bilateral versus unilateral ATL damage on general semantic memory, person-specific semantic knowledge, as well as a perceptual face matching task, which used trials of both famous and unfamiliar faces. We recruited people with bilateral ATL damage due to semantic dementia, as well as people with unilateral ATL damage following resection for temporal lobe epilepsy. And we also recruited healthy controls to provide normative data. Each participant completed a detailed neuropsychological battery, as well as undergoing a 3 Tesla structural MRI scan. On the general semantic memory battery, the people with bilateral ATL damage had a severe impairment relative to the controls across all tasks. In contrast, the people with unilateral ATL damage had a very mild impairment, and there was no clear left versus right differences. The same pattern of results was found on the person-specific semantic knowledge battery, where bilateral ATL damage generated a severe impairment, unilateral ATL damage had a very mild impairment, with no clear left versus right differences. On a perceptual face matching task, across all groups, accuracy was increased when faces were famous relative to unfamiliar, in line with the well-established familiarity benefit in face matching. However, when we looked at correct response times, we now found an interaction between group and familiarity, with the semantic dementia patients showing a reduced benefit of faces being famous on response times relative to other groups. So overall, our findings are in line with bilateral ATL damage impairing both general semantic processing as well as person-specific semantic knowledge. In contrast, unilateral ATL damage causes very mild semantic deficits and no clear differences emerging between those with left versus right damage. This finding persists even when patients are matched for overall ATL volume loss. To conclude, our findings are in line with the shared role of the bilateral ATLs in supporting both general semantics and knowledge about people and faces. Thank you for listening.